Ladies and gentlemen, hear me clearly today. There's power in solitude, but there's an even greater power in the woman who has learned how to embrace it. A woman who spends time alone, not as a sign of weakness, but as a choice, is a woman who is dangerous in the most empowering way. You see, there's a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a place of despair, but solitude, true intentional solitude, is a place of self-discovery. A woman who takes time alone isn't running from something, she's running towards something. She's running toward her purpose. She's running toward her healing. She's running toward understanding her true power. When a woman spends time alone, she's not lost. No, she's growing. She's listening to the voice that's been silenced by the noise of the world. She's building the strength that no one can see, but everyone will feel when she walks into a room. She's equipping herself for battles she hasn't even fought yet. She's tapping into the wisdom that comes only when you quiet yourself long enough to hear your soul. And that woman, the one who knows how to stand in her own space, she is dangerous. Not in a negative sense, but in the way that power can be dangerous. Because when you understand who you are, when you know your worth, and when you've spent enough time alone to become comfortable in your own skin, she knows her value. She's learned to say no without guilt. She's learned to love herself fiercely because she understands that she is her own first priority. And when she walks into a room, she doesn't need validation because she's already validated herself. When she speaks with authority because she knows her voice matters. She knows she is a force. The power of solitude is often misunderstood. People think solitude means isolation, loneliness, or detachment from the world. But true solitude is not about being alone out of necessity. It's about choosing to step away from the noise to connect with something deeper, something truer within yourself. In solitude, you find space to breathe without the influence of others. It's a moment where the external world fades and your internal world becomes the loudest voice in the room. When you step into solitude, you give yourself permission to be exactly who you are without the pressure of fitting into someone else's idea of who you should be. It's in that sacred space where clarity rises from the noise. Ideas that were once tangled begin to align. Decisions that once seemed clouded become sharp and focused. You see your life not through the lens of others' expectations, but through the lens of your own experiences and truth. In the solitude, a woman can confront her fears, her insecurities, and her weaknesses, but it's also where she discovers her strengths, her courage, and her potential. When you are alone, you no longer have the distractions of other people's opinions or judgments. You're forced to look inward. It's in that silence that you hear your own thoughts, the truth you've been too afraid to admit, the dreams you've buried deep down, and the desires that you've let others silence. Solitude is where you stop running from yourself and start listening to your heart. And when you have the courage to sit in that silence, something transformative happens. You stop chasing distractions and you begin to embrace the beauty of who you are, flaws, strengths, and all. You begin to build a relationship with yourself that is unshakable. You begin to build the foundation for all your dreams. Because you're not just planning from the mind. You're planning from a place of self-awareness and understanding. True power is found when you know yourself intimately. And that knowledge comes not in the busyness of life, but in the stillness of solitude. This is when you find out who you really are, beyond the roles you play, the masks you wear, and the titles you carry. In solitude, you are stripped of all the distractions and expectations of others, and it's in that raw state that you find your true power. Solitude also gives you the ability to heal. In the quiet, you can process pain that you may have pushed aside or avoided in the chaos of everyday life. You can grieve, reflect, and grow. It's where you can untangle the knots in your soul, allowing the space to heal wounds that were never addressed, to let go of past hurts that still haunt you. You can breathe life into your own spirit again without waiting for anyone else to do it for you. The power of solitude then isn't just about being alone. It's about the strength you find when you're able to be with yourself, to understand yourself, and to stand in your own truth. It's the power of rediscovering your worth, your voice, your dreams, without needing anyone else to confirm it. It's in those quiet moments that you find your most authentic self, ready to take on the world. Embracing independence is about more than just standing alone. It's about standing on your own terms. It's about understanding that you are your own source of strength and support, and that you have the ability to shape your own destiny, regardless of the circumstances or the people around you. To embrace independence is to recognize that you do not need permission to live your life. It's about breaking free from the mental, emotional, and societal chains that keep you bound to others' expectations or desires. Independence isn't just a physical act of being alone, it's a mindset, one that empowers you to make choices based on your own truth and not the influence of others. It's the power to say no when something isn't right for you, even when others may push back. It's the confidence to say yes to opportunities, even if they come with risks or require stepping out of your comfort zone. Being independent means taking full ownership of your decisions and your life. It's about recognizing that your happiness, your success, and your growth are in your hands, not in the hands of others. You don't wait for someone to rescue you, to make you feel whole, or to give you permission to thrive. You create your own path, even if it means walking it alone. Independence doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means knowing that regardless of what happens around you, you have the strength to keep going because you trust yourself. Independence also means having the courage to make tough choices. When you rely on others for validation or decision making, you limit your potential. But when you embrace your independence, you step into a space where your decisions are your own. Whether it's choosing a career, pursuing a passion, or even deciding who gets to be a part of your life, you hold the power to make the call. And yes, those decisions might not always be easy, and they may come with challenges, but when you own your independence, you develop the inner resilience to navigate those challenges with confidence. Moreover, independence is a journey of self-discovery. It's about taking the time to learn what makes you feel alive, what you value, and where your passions lie. It's in this space that you come to understand your worth, not through the lens of others, but through your own eyes. You begin to trust your instincts, to listen to your inner voice, and to build a life that reflects who you truly are. You stop seeking external approval because you no longer need it. You've already validated yourself. Embracing independence is also about releasing the fear of failure. Too often women are conditioned to seek approval and security in others, but independence teaches you that even in failure there is growth. Independence gives you the courage to fail, to learn from your mistakes, and to rise again stronger than before. It's not about avoiding risks. It's about having the strength to navigate them on your own terms. As you embrace independence, you begin to realize that you are enough. You are whole just as you are, and you don't need to wait for someone else to complete you. You are not defined by the relationships you have, the titles you hold, or the expectations of others. Your identity is not dependent on external validation. It comes from within. And once you grasp that truth, you'll never look back. All right? Independence isn't about cutting ties with the world. It's about becoming fully connected to your own power, your own journey, and your own limitless potential. Protecting your peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity. In a world full of noise, distractions, and constant demands, peace often becomes an afterthought. People will try to pull you in different directions, and life will throw challenges your way. But the real power comes from learning how to guard your inner tranquility. Peace isn't something that just happens. It's something you must actively protect. To protect your peace means to set boundaries. Clear, firm boundaries that define what is acceptable in your life and what is not. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting your energy and your emotional well-being. It's learning to say no when something doesn't align with your values, your goals, or your peace of mind. Whether it's toxic relationships, draining environments, or situations that cause unnecessary stress, you have the right to walk away and preserve your calm. Saying no doesn't make you rude, it makes you wise. And when you learn to say no, you're saying yes to your peace. Peace is not just about external circumstances. It starts from within. Protecting your peace means doing the inner work to heal past wounds, release old grudges, and forgive yourself and others. Holding on to resentment, anger, or guilt only serves to disrupt your inner calm. When you allow negative emotions to control your thoughts, you are giving away your peace. It's about taking ownership of your emotional state, refusing to let external factors disturb your equilibrium. This takes strength, but it's a strength that can only be developed when you are intentional about maintaining your mental and emotional clarity. Protecting your peace also means taking time for self-care, nourishing your mind, body, and spirit so you can remain grounded. Whether it's meditation, exercise, prayer, journaling, or simply taking a break from the hustle, you need to carve out time to restore and recharge. Peace doesn't just come from external boundaries. It comes from intentionally creating moments of stillness and calm in your own life. When you take the time to care for yourself, you create a buffer against the chaos of the outside world, allowing you to stay centered and focused. Additionally, protecting your peace requires awareness of the energy around you. You are not immune to the moods and attitudes of others. The people you surround yourself with can either uplift you or drain you. Protecting your peace means being selective about who you allow into your space. If someone's energy consistently brings negativity, chaos, or drama into your life, it is your responsibility to limit or eliminate your exposure to them. You are not obligated to stay in relationships or environments that consistently disrupt your peace. Your peace is sacred, and you have the right to protect it at all costs. Sometimes protecting your peace also means letting go of expectations. We often place high expectations on others, hoping they will meet our needs or validate our feelings, but when we do this, we give up our own power, making our peace dependent on external sources. When you release the need for approval or validation from others, you stop seeking external sources of peace. You realize that your peace comes from within, and no one has the ability to take it from you unless you allow it. To protect your peace is also to practice mindfulness, to stay present and aware of your thoughts and reactions. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond. By practicing mindfulness, you can identify negative or unproductive thought patterns and redirect your focus toward peace and positivity. It's about mastering your mindset so that no matter what is going on around you, you remain rooted in a place of calm and clarity. In the process of protecting your peace, you may have to make difficult decisions. Sometimes protecting your peace means distancing yourself from situations or people who no longer serve your growth. It may require ending relationships, changing careers, or shifting your environment. These decisions are never easy, but they are necessary for your well-being. The more you prioritize your peace, the more aligned you become with your purpose, your joy, and your authenticity. You begin to realize that nothing is more important than maintaining your peace, because when you protect your peace, you create the space for everything else in your life to flourish. Being empowered to lead is about far more than occupying a position of authority or holding a title. It's about stepping into your own strength, recognizing the unique gifts and perspectives you bring to the table, and using them to guide, inspire, and impact those around you. Empowerment is the foundation of leadership because it comes from within. It is rooted in self-belief, resilience, and the courage to take bold action even when the road ahead is uncertain. Empowered leadership begins with self-awareness. It's about understanding who you are, what drives you, and what values guide your decisions. When you are deeply connected to your own purpose, you lead with clarity and authenticity. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, nor are you seeking validation. Your leadership is driven by your own inner compass, and that confidence resonates with others. People follow leaders who know themselves and lead with conviction because they can trust the direction you are taking them. Empowered leadership is also about embracing your voice. Too often, women and people in marginalized groups are taught to be quiet, to downplay their brilliance, or to wait for permission to speak up. But when you are empowered, you understand that your voice matters, that your perspective is valuable, and that your ideas have the power to inspire change. Leading is not about having all the answers, but it is about creating a space where others feel heard, valued, and empowered to share their own voices. It's about using your voice to stand up for what's right, to challenge the status quo, and to advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves. To be empowered to lead also means to embrace your vulnerability. Leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being human. When you show vulnerability, you create a deeper connection with those you lead. You give others permission to be authentic, to make mistakes, and to grow alongside you. Empowered leadership isn't about having all the answers or being infallible. It's about being willing to learn, to adapt, and to show up with integrity even when things aren't going as planned. Your ability to own your mistakes and learn from them builds trust and respect with those who look to you for guidance. Another essential aspect of empowered leadership is emotional intelligence. Great leaders are not just rational thinkers. They are emotionally attuned to themselves and others. They can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics, handle stress and conflict with grace, and build strong, cohesive teams. They understand the power of empathy, and they know that effective leadership is not just about directing others, but about nurturing relationships. fostering collaboration and encouraging others to realize their own potential. Empowered leadership is also rooted in resilience. Every leader faces setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But what sets empowered leaders apart is their ability to persevere in the face of adversity. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from failure, it's about growing stronger through it. Empowered leaders take challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. They don't allow obstacles to define them. They use them as stepping stones to rise higher. True empowered leadership is about lifting others up along the way. Leadership is not a solo endeavor. It's about bringing people together, inspiring them to work toward a shared vision, and empowering them to reach their full potential. When you are empowered to lead, you understand that the best leaders are those who help others shine. You create opportunities for others to grow, and you celebrate their successes as much as your own. You lead by example, showing others what it means to be courageous, compassionate, and driven. Empowered leadership also involves taking initiative and being proactive. It's about recognizing problems and stepping forward with solutions. It's about making decisions, even when they are difficult, and taking responsibility for the outcomes. Empowered leaders don't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They take ownership of their mission, their vision, and their impact, and they inspire others to do the same. Finally, empowered leadership is about staying true to your values, even when the world around you might try to sway you. Integrity is the cornerstone of effective leadership. When you lead with honesty, transparency, and ethical principles, you build a legacy of trust and respect. Empowered leaders know that their influence is most powerful when they stay grounded in their own core beliefs and remain unwavering in the face of external pressure. Leadership is not about compromising who you are to fit in. It's about staying true to your authentic self and leading with unwavering purpose. Now let me leave you with this. You are powerful beyond measure. The world may try to tell you otherwise, but deep within you lies an unshakable strength that cannot be ignored. You have everything you need to rise, to lead, to heal, and to protect your peace. Your voice, your vision, your uniqueness. These are your weapons, and when you embrace them, there is nothing you cannot achieve. You were not created to be small. You were created to stand tall, to face challenges head on, and to break through barriers with grace and resilience. Every time you protect your peace, every time you embrace your independence, every time you step into your leadership, you become more powerful. And with that power comes the responsibility to lift others as you rise. So, don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Step into your greatness right now. You are capable. You are worthy. You are a force to be reckoned with. And as you move forward, remember this: your peace is sacred. Your strength is unbreakable, and your leadership will light the way for those who follow. The world is waiting for you to show up, and now it's time to rise and lead like the powerhouse you were always meant to be.